Welcome to the Midday Meltdown Party Over Here with J&J Video.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Sister JJ. Good morning, everyone. How you doing, sis?
I'm good. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. Just listened to some. I know you like this one. I just listened to some BB King.
Oh, really? Wow, you taking it back with the jazz. My grandmother used to have so many BB King albums. She would have me play them for her. I love
yeah.
playing along with his stuff.
Yeah, man. He's pretty much the greatest guitarist of all time. I feel like he's like definitely up there for sure.
Oh, oh
It's
yeah.
so many classics. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, so I'm excited for today because this is something different. Normally we're listening to an audiobook, but Party Over Here, and shout out to everybody that listen. Thanks for Macrina Daniel for checking in with me, sweetheart. I appreciate you so much. Before
Mm.
we get into anything, guys, please smash that like button, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe, and share if you care on all forms of social media. I'm excited. You see the nickname I gave you, right? Dollar D.
I saw that. I think I'm gonna take that and run away with it. One guy. uh,
Oh man, DZ, for those of you who don't know, is very good at options trading, trading stocks, wealth building philosophies and strategies. And he has tasked himself with teaching this to a sister because I begged him, please teach me this stuff. I've dipped my toe in it. I've been wanting to get into it for years. I have a feeling that I'll have a knack for it. And I was just waiting for someone to like well, I wasn't really waiting. I put it out there in the universe and the universe brought me DZ. So, I manifested this training. And for those of you who have ever wondered about getting into wealth building through whether it be building a stock portfolio or getting into cryptocurrency. We're not going to go through all of that today, but DZ is pretty well versed on a lot of that stuff. So without further ado, I'll let you just get into whatever it is you want to talk about today, my brother. Welcome.
no problem. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much for the lovely intro and for bringing me on as usual.
Always.
For giving me the opportunity to come in. Yeah, I mean, we started talking about options trading a while back, just trading stocks in general, but financial freedom. We've always been a big proponent of that, and I from the first time I've known you, you've pretty much owned your own businesses and everything.
Yes.
Started with you had your a company before even DoorDash, started,
Yeah.
and I like the innovative mind that you have, as well as vegan knowledge, Jen, you know,
Yeah.
as well as her, the innovative minds that you have, and you were able to take that and obviously make into something profitable, of course. And then DoorDash came out, and everything shows you how innovative your minds are and everything. And
Thank you,
now,
my brother.
no problem, sis. And obviously you have your own business with J&J Video, making your intros and everything. So but my point is, from the first time I met you, you've always been business minded and everything, so
I
um
try. You have to be in this day and age, if you don't, and if you look because of COVID,
yeah,
look how many companies have taken to hiring representatives to work from home. If
exactly.
you're not self-motivated, if you don't already have that in you to
Mm,
move forward every day and do something towards the greater good, and you don't need like quote unquote the man, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
To hand you your scraps, you know how to go out there and fend for yourself and push and get what you need. That's
right.
that's a person at the end of the day. Hey, listen, don't give me a fish. Teach me how to fish so I can fish and eat forever.
Exactly, exactly. You mentioned a great point in regards to, I don't know if you heard about the Omicron virus that just came out. Um, from
You
start
know something? Shout out to Nikki Starr
yeah,
from Nikki Star TV because I was watching one of her streams from I think a couple of days ago, and she said there's another variant. She's out in California,
there is, yeah.
so yeah, I heard her mention there's another variant. Really?
Yeah, there's another variant that just came out, and it took the whole world by storm on Friday. Because on Friday, if you watch the stocks, and this is what we're going to be talking about, but if you watch the stocks on Friday, the whole market plummeted. The Nasdaq plummeted, the Dow Jones plummeted, If you were in on any of those stocks, and if you were pretty much going long
Yo,
these stocks,
I feel like a dog. I went, "Arr!" My ears just went up. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Arr!"
Yeah.
Really? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Now, see, the average person wouldn't know what to do with that information.
exactly.
It would mean nothing to them. For me, with just a little bit of knowledge that I have, I know that that is
That's
huge.
huge. Exactly. Because think about it. In the morning when me and my brother we got ready for trading, and we were very bullish on, because we have a few stocks that we work around with, like Apple, Tesla, the tech stocks in general we focus on, because it's right now, it's a very bullish market right now. Friday, we did not expect that. That's why it's so important with stocks. Watching news is very important to always, especially your economic news. You want to make sure you're on top of that. So we'll show you how to do that. But basically, the economic news came out, and sometimes these news you don't have any control over.
Mm-hmm.
When that news came out that morning, the whole market plummeted. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
if you had a strategy of, if your strategy was to be bullish on the stock, you wanted to get a call option, you lost a lot of money. If you got a
Yes.
put option, which we're going to explain later, basically betting that the stock will go down, you made a lot of money for sure. So, you can make money in the down market, and also in an up market as well. But yeah, so um, the whole, with the virus coming out and everything during the pandemic, it's important to note that there are ways to make money. You don't have to work for a company. You don't have to go out there and sweat. You know what I mean? And go out there and and pay up for it, and pay your dues to the man. You know what I mean? You can pay your
Yeah.
dues to yourself, and you can now control your own income at the end of the day. So I think I think from our conversations that we had before, I think it's important that, before we even start with covering options trading today, I think it's important for people to start having this mindset, of being self sufficient.
Yes.
It's important because, the problem, especially with our community, is that we don't like to be self sufficient. We always think that there's one way to do things: go to college, or work out there, work like a slave. No offense to anybody, but we're all slaves in within the corporate America structure.
Absolutely.
And if we don't stop that sort of mentality, it's gonna carry on to our future kids and everything. Now, it's the great news is that a lot of the kids right now are self entrepreneurs. They have social media. We have social media technology to take advantage of, which is what we're going to take a look at today with options trading with the platforms that we have. So, basically, yeah, I think to start, how I
Woo! I'm excited.
yeah, yeah. No, most definitely. So I got introduced to options trading last year. Um,
Okay.
I knew what trading stocks was and everything, but I had a Robinhood account from a few years ago. I had a Robinhood account from a few years ago. I started trading with Robinhood, like in 2015, but I wasn't really into stocks like that, So,
Wow.
but I started trading seriously in 2019. I put some money into a few stocks, a few medical stocks like Moderna and Johnson and Johnson, and those guys, and I made some money here and there. And then there was the last year there was um, a whole revolution that happened with the AMC theaters during the pandemic, AMC theaters and GameStop. There was and a few other stocks. But so what happened was that there was a squeeze, a gamma squeeze. A squeeze is basically pretty much you know. So there are a lot of companies, big companies, firms that do bet on the stocks to go down
Uh-huh.
and everything. So there, some of those firms include Citadel and everything. So basically, what happened? They all call it pretty much shorts. So they're shorting a stock, meaning that they're betting that a stock will go down. So a lot of these companies bet that GameStop and AMC and other companies were going to go down, but especially GameStop and AMC were going to go down during the pandemic because they weren't that profitable during the pandemic and everything. So they bet that those stocks would go down. What happened was that there's a group of investors in the Reddit community. If you guys know Reddit, a website where you can pretty much, take part in different forums and everything.
Right.
Right.
A lot of investors from Reddit identified that GameStop and AMC were heavily shorted. They were heavily shorted. So basically, a lot of people, a lot of investors, pretty much, and it wasn't illegal for them to do that. I know that there are people that saying that it was illegal. No, they just got together and they're like, you know what, let's bet on this stock. Let's bet on this stock. Let's buy this stock and everything. So a lot of people started buying this stock, and that kind of so when that happens, especially on a heavily shorted stock, that pretty much drives the price up. So a lot of these stocks like AMC and GameStop, they started pretty much getting overvalued. So a lot of these stocks started like a lot of people ended up gaining like 11,000%, for example, on on the stock that they bought.
Wow.
So, for example, if GameStop was valued at $5 or $4 or even $3, and then the stock went up to at one point like $500, you
Mm-hmm.
made and you bought like at, you bought like maybe hundreds of these stocks. Man, you came out of flipping with thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some people came out retired with millions of dollars. You know, the most that a guy made, his name is the guy that actually started this revolution last year, actually made $13 million. That's the most he made. That's the most an investor made on GameStop. So he came out with $13 million.
Unbelievable.
So that showed me and many other people that there are opportunities out there for retail investors to make money, but this is only pretty much not even the cream on top of the or like on top the cherry on top of the cream. Pretty much that's how I say it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's just a small part of the story. And I remember I made money during that time. You know what I mean? I made a good $1,500 on the rally. So that was great. I was like, wow, okay, I can really make money right here, with just trading stocks.
Right.
But another part of stocks called trading that I ended up finding out because and that was called options trading. And I was like, because I remember one time I lost. I remember I went in on the Bitcoin stock.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's called SOS. It's pretty much a company that has mining rigs around the world. It's a Chinese company that has mining rigs, and they were doing bad on the day. And I thought I was gonna make money on that, but just by trading the stock, but just by buying, multiple shares of the stock. But I ended up losing money on the red day. So I was like, how can I make that money back? I was so frustrated. And one thing people should learn about stock trading is that you need to manage your emotions right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Your emotions are very important. And before I do go on, guys, please, me and Sister JJ, this is a disclaimer right here. We are not financial advisors. So please take whatever
Take it with a grain of salt. You make your own decisions.
Make your own decisions. Exactly. We're just this is just for educational purposes. So this will involve buying financial securities. So you make your own decisions. If you need any more financial advice, please do consult with the financial advisor. So I want to make sure I wanted to make sure I say
Definitely.
that disclaimer before we do go on. So but yeah, I was saying that managing your emotions is so important with options, with just trading in general, trading stocks, because you want to make sure that you stay level headed, whether the stocks goes up or goes down and everything, because that's going to be very important, especially, um, you know, in your, in your trading journey that you start with. So basically, yeah, with so I wanted to make the money that I lost during that time, and I was thinking, how can I make up that money? How can I make up a sizable return on trades and everything? So I've ended up finding out options trading. And the first stock I found, one of my friends actually was doing options trading. He told me about it. He's like, yo, DZ, there's actually a way to make much more money on your, you don't have to buy a bunch of stocks, because like I was interested in buying Tesla, Apple, a lot of these stocks like Tesla and Amazon, for example. But these stocks were expensive. They were like, you know, at that
Pretty
time,
high.
yeah, $700 a share. I don't have that type of money. You know what I mean? But
Right, right.
I want to be able to make money on the Tesla stock. So he told me that there is options trading, and I was like, you know what, let me get into that, because my friend is he's a stock trader, and he's a day trader, and he just, what a day trader is pretty much trading, and that is your pretty much your primary income. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that and see what happens. So the first stock I went into was Tesla. All right. And I ended up making, on my first trade, I ended up making $600. And I'm going to show you guys my portfolio and what I have there. But let me share my screen so I can show you guys what I can show you, Sister JJ, and everybody else, what options trading is. I know you and I, we did talk about it before, but for
Hmm.
anybody that doesn't know what options trading is, they'll know exactly, they'll have an idea of what it is. So let me just share my screen real quick. All right. Can you see my screen, sis?
Let me go ahead and put it on.
Yeah. There we
Okay,
go.
there we go.
Perfect. So what are options? So good thing is to start with a definition, basically, so you guys can understand what options is. So options are contracts that give you, the bearer the right, but not the obligation to either buy or sell an amount of some underlying asset at a predetermined price at or before the contract expires. So like most other asset classes, options can be purchased with brokerage investment accounts. So with options trading, it's pretty much, it's a very powerful way to earn an income, as you guys can see. Um, so there is so there are different so for example, here's an example, right? So let's say for example you get you're a potential homeowner that sees a new development going up. That person may want the right to purchase a home in the future, but will only want to exercise that right after certain developments around the area are built. So the potential home buyer will benefit from the option of buying or not. So imagine they can buy a call option from the developer to buy the home at say $400,000 at any point in the next 3 days. Well, they can, it as a non-refundable debit deposit. So naturally, the developer wouldn't grant such an option for free. The potential home buyer needs to contribute a down payment to lock in that right. So with the restriction option, the cost is known as a premium. It is the price of the option contract. So in our home example, the deposit might be $20,000 that the buyer pays the developer. So let's say 2 years have passed and now the developments are built and zoning has been approved. The home buyer exercises the option and buys a home at $400,000 because that is the contract purchased. So here's in the interesting part, guys. The market value of that home may have doubled to $800,000, but because the down payment locked in the predetermined price, the buyer pays $400,000. Now, in an alternate scenario, say the zoning approval doesn't come through until year four, this 1 year past the expiration of this option. Now, the home buyer must pay the market price because the contract has expired. In either case, the developer keeps the original $20,000 collected. So basically, this is a perfect example here. So for options trading, for example, you guys saw the home buying example here. So basically, with options trading, for example, Tesla. Let's say, for example, you want to purchase a contract of Tesla. A contract of a stock is 100 shares. So contract right now, Tesla is valued as $1,100 right now. All right.
Okay, so wait a minute. Before we go any further, let me go back over that example one more time.
Yes.
So,
Sure.
okay, so we had an option there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And so we paid how much for the well, first what we pay for the option is called a premium.
A premium. Yeah.
Okay, and how much did we pay for that option?
So to pay for that $400,000 home, you pay $20,000, which is the premium.
Okay. And why was the premium $20,000?
I mean that's any number. The premium pretty much is like you can print. That's any number. We can put 20,000 or $30,000. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And
Exactly.
that's how much it costs for me to buy that particular option for that $400,000 home.
Exactly. Exactly. It means that you don't have, like, you don't want, like, with the options, you don't have to pay the full, you know,
Right.
price.
And it locks me in for a certain period of time, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So an option, so there are weekly options, there are yearly options, and there are monthly options, right? So the weekly options are the cheapest, right?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you're able to purchase that options, they're the cheapest. But then the yearly options they are the most expensive because it gives you
You're
more
covering a longer period of
to
time.
cover. Exactly. So the stock, depending on how much you bet the stock should go up. So if, let's say for example you got a call option, which you're
Mhm.
betting that the stock will go up to
Mhm.
maybe say for example the stock is at $700 right now with Tesla, and then you're betting that the stock will go up to $800 in 6 months.
Mhm.
That because so that option will be more expensive in 6 months.
As opposed to a week option.
As opposed to a weekly option. Exactly, because the likelihood of Tesla going up to $800 is very low. You know what I mean? That week, but you will still be able to make money. You don't have to. You can sell your option call that same week. You don't have to wait until it expires. That's the beauty about options trading because you can still make money during that period of time.
So if it goes up before that week is out, I can go ahead and sell at that time.
Yeah, exactly. You can go and sell
I
that
don't
time.
have to wait the full week.
Exactly. You can
Okay,
sell
now
the
the
same
cool
day.
thing that I'm understanding about this is that okay, I'm locking in that price.
Yes,
So if the price of it goes up, I can still buy it at the price that my contract was made for, correct?
that is correct. Yes, yes. So let's say, for
Cool.
example, if Tesla, you bet that the stock will go, Tesla will go up to $800, and it is up going to $900.
Hmm.
You cash up more
But
money.
I locked in at what price?
You locked it at $800, right? I
Got
mean,
you.
yeah, exactly.
At
So
700.
at 700,
So
yeah,
if it goes up to 900, I don't have to at that point um like if I were to try to get in it, I've already got it at 800. So
yes,
I can lock in all of that that difference, and the $200 that it went up, I made that then.
Exactly. Yes. Plus what
Nice.
you made. Yeah. Exactly. Plus what you made. So, minus the amount that you paid, minus the amount that you paid. But yeah, exactly. So if you paid $1,400 for the premium,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you end up making more than
And that's 100 shares, so that's 14,000,
yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, if that's if it goes up, but you don't need to wait for that to go up to that. If you do prefer waiting, that's fine. But the great thing about the options is that you can always, obviously, always sell. You can sell your option the same day because with options trading, you can make anywhere from like if you want 40, 30, from $1 to $300 a matter of a few seconds,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so let me show you my Weibo account. Um, but yeah, pretty much, yeah, just to basically that's what the premium is. So you understand what the premium is, sis, and
So the premium is what I've paid at that strike
at
price.
that strike price, exactly.
Okay, and it's going to be no less than 100 shares. So the strike price
Mhm.
needs to be whatever the strike price is times 100.
Times 100, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, for example, the strike price is, for example, so with options trading, with the Tesla, for example, with Apple stock right now, there are some cheap options going up. So if it's at 30 cents, it's 0.30 cents, so 0.3, so 30 cents. So that you times by 100, that would be $30 for purchasing that contract.
Okay, and say I purchased that contract for a week, saying that just thinking that okay, wow, it's Christmas time, you know, Apple is going to go up. Say I do it for a whole month, the whole
Yeah,
month of December, which would probably be a smarter bet because Christmas happens during December.
yeah.
So chances are Apple stock is probably going to go up pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you can do that, and that option will be more expensive. But if you want to go through that, yes, you want to give your if you want to get a monthly contract, and you want to do that, yes, that gives you more time, and that's definitely smart because you're betting that the stock will go up during that time, and that gives you more time, regardless of whether the stock goes up or down. That gives you enough time for that stock to actually for the stock to go up to that to that point. So that's the beautiful thing about it. You don't have to
Awesome.
lose sleep knowing that the stock whether the stock will go up or down. You can just basically you gave yourself enough time for the stock to go up. Yeah. So
Nice.
that's the beauty about options trading. You don't have to pay for just as opposed to buying the actual stock individually for each share, which
Right.
only rich people do. But
Right.
options trading, big companies do too, like individuals and companies do take part of it. But the beautiful thing is that retail investors like us can make money on these stocks, and we can make an easy, whether it's 50 to $100 or 200, $300, $500 a day. You know what I mean? On
Nice.
on the option, yeah. So there's a call option, and guys, this is like pretty much. So this is since like this is a very brief, you know, very brief.
Shout out
Um,
to Vegan Knowledge. I see you in the chat, sweetie. Thank you for joining us.
yeah, shout out to Bigger Knowledge, man. How you doing? So yeah, so there is that was the call option. Example. There is another one called the put option. Example. Now, guys, there are many other ways. There are many other options, option strategies. But I'm just going to cover the call and put option because these are the simplest ones that we can cover during this call.
Okay.
Many other ones, but these are the easiest one. So now the put options says so basically, the put option. Now think of the put option as an insurance policy. If you own your home, likely familiar with the process of purchasing homeowners insurance. A homeowner buys a homeowner's policy to protect their home from damage. They pay an amount called a premium for a certain amount of time, let's say a year. The policy has a face value and gives the insurance holder protection in the event the home is damaged. So
Correct.
what? Yeah. So what if instead of a home, your asset was a stock or an index investment? Similarly, if an investor wants insurance on their SP 500 index portfolio, they can purchase put options. An investor may fear that a bear market is near and may be unwilling to lose more than 10% of their long position in the SP 500 index. So if the SP 500 is currently trading at $2,500, they can purchase a put option, giving them the right to sell the index at $2,250, for example, at any point in the next 2 years. So if in 6 months the market crashes by 20%, 500 points on the index, they have made 250 points by being able to sell the index at $2,250 when it is trading at $2,000, a combined loss of just 10%. In fact, even if the market drops to zero, the loss will only be 10% if this put option is held. Again, purchasing the option will carry a cost, the premium, and if the market doesn't drop during that period, the maximum loss of the option is just the premium spent. All right. So basically, the put option is that you're basically betting that the stock will go down, right?
Uh-huh.
So same like the call option, except the call option you're betting that the stock will go up. In this case, you're betting that the stock would go down, but similarly, you also have to pay a premium for that put option as well. So let's see, for example, just like the previous example, Tesla, right? Tesla is
Mm-hmm.
valued at $700 right now. Now, if you're betting that Tesla will go down to $600 in a month's time, all right, or even let's say $650 in a month's time, you'll buy a put option for that strike price, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that put option, you'll buy like a premium of 100 shares that you can sell at that price at 650. That will give you the right to sell at 650.
So if it goes down to 600, I can still sell it at 650.
Exactly. Yeah, you can still sell it at 650. Yeah, you can sell it at any point between 800 and 600. Between 800 and 600, you can sell it at any point. Now, if it goes down below 600, guess what? You even make more money at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. You know what I mean? But you're basically shorting the stock. You're shorting the stock just like the shorters, the big companies that do short the stock. You as a retailer can do the same thing. You can short the stock and you can make money under down as well. So the thing is, this is a you can make. I always tell people you can make money in the bear market, which mean and which also means in the down market, and you can make money in the bullish market. Or
Okay, so tell us, what does a bear market mean? What's the difference between bear and bullish?
bear means that it's pretty much
Like what just happened?
you're like what happened exactly. So on Friday when the news that the Omicron variant came out, was happened in South Africa. The market was obviously cut by storm, and the whole day was a red market. Pretty much the Nasdaq went down. I think
You
by
know
like,
what I liken it to?
yeah,
A bear cabinet. BARE.
yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly.
Meaning lack, meaning no, none, gone.
Exactly, exactly. So the whole market was bleeding red, literally. So
Wow.
when people say bear market, and for anybody
The
watching, a bear
market's
market
down.
means the market is down. It's a red market, right? It's a red market that day or that month or that year, right? Um,
Which technically, wouldn't that be an opportune time if you're in looking to get into stock trading to buy because everything is at a low price
yes,
because it went
yes.
down?
Exactly. Yes, you want to buy those stocks at a low price because guess what? You're buying it at a discount. You're buying it at a discount. So if you're buying it at a discount, you can when it's a bullish market, which most likely it will be in a few months time, on a year time or whatever. When
Hmm.
it's a bullish market, you're going to make money on those stocks because it's going to go up and you're going to make a sizable return.
And
You know,
and the good thing about it is if it's red, the only way to go is where?
ah,
Up.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that makes perfect sense.
You
And
put
then obviously a bullish market is I'm looking at that like a bull in a china shop, moving straight forward,
very
rolling, going,
straightforward.
eating everything up,
Uh,
making money.
Making money. Yep, exactly. A bullish market. Yeah, so it's a bullish market. It's a green market. That means that obviously most of the stocks are doing great. They're up and everything. So, um, not just say that you can lose money in either way. You can lose money, but you can make a lot of money as well. You know what I
See,
mean?
and I'm looking at it like this is a skill that you can develop over time, and
Yeah,
you have to be willing to take the pitfall, just like in life. You have to
exactly.
be willing to take the pitfalls as well as the good times because there are going to be times when it's going to go down. What you don't want to do is sit there and keep watching it and keep going nuts and going, letting your emotions go with the stock. That's
Exactly.
one of the things that I did read about Warren Buffett, that he refuses to get any stock trader who is good at stock, and you've said this yourself, do not get emotional about stock. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, your emotions will go up and down with the stock and you won't make objective decisions.
You want to make objective decisions. Exactly, sis.
You'll be ready to sell, and if you had just sat there for a minute,
Mhm.
something was going to go back up. But because you got frightened, you know what
Exactly.
I mean? You lost your opportunity because you already sold your shares
You already
before you wait.
exactly, sis. You already lost your shares, and I will give you an example. At one point, I was making on one of my plays that I did with Tesla when I started. I was making $500 on one play, right on the call option. I was
Hmm.
making $500. I was like, yeah, I'm going to make more money because with options trading, you can get caught in because you can make money in as easy as a few minutes. You can make a lot of money. You can make as easy as $500 in a few minutes. But
Hmm.
your eyes can glow. You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna make more money. I'm gonna make $1,000 and all that in a few more minutes. I'm just gonna weigh out instead of cashing out. Instead of just being happy with what you made that day.
Right, right.
Guess what? I ended up losing my all my money because I was so greedy. I was like,
And
you know what, I'm
stayed in way longer.
waiting way longer. You know what I mean? So,
So the opposite is also
so
true.
exactly. I never hold my options, especially my weekly options. Um, Even my weekly options, unless I feel like so confident that that specific option will go up that week. I always cash out that same day, and then I
Hmm.
rinse and repeat and do the same thing the next day. You know what I mean? So, because options they do carry a lot of risk, so I always make sure that whatever I make that day, I will get out and just rinse and repeat and do it the next day. Just depending on how everything is, how the market is, I will just go on the next day. So that's the best thing to the best thing I that's the best advice I'll give to anybody that does start. To make sure that they are like, if there is a set number that you are happy with, man, you're making $100 or $50, man, and you're like, cash out, because guess what, you make $100, you made $100 or $50 without doing anything else, man, in just a matter of a few minutes. You didn't need to work for any corporation, nothing else. You just made $100, just you by going in on your computer and doing this by yourself. Like, that's just the beauty of it. So just by you knowing that, cash out. You know what I mean? Cash out, because you didn't need to go out there and work for the man. You just did it in front of a computer.
You
That's
know, one of my favorite movies
mm,
from the 80s
mm,
was Wall Street
yeah,
with Charlie Sheen, as you can see there,
yeah,
Michael Douglas and Daryl Hannah. That is one of my favorite movies. You will listen, if you watch this movie, you will definitely get an understanding
Mhm.
of not only the front end of Wall Street, but also some of the shadiness that goes on in Wall Street.
Damn right.
Um, but you will get an understanding of everything that DZ has been talking about today when markets are up and markets are down, and exactly how that works and how these guys make and lose fortunes every day.
Every day.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's one of my favorite movies. And then there was another movie at the end of the '90s, early 2000s, called Boiler Room. Did you ever see Boiler Room?
No, I
Oh
need.
my God! Have you seen Wall Street?
Yeah.
Okay, Boiler Room was like a new age version of Wall Street.
Mhm.
It basically had this kid right here in the middle, Giovanni Ribisi. He was Seth, and he started a gaming casino out of his apartment. He's supposed to be going to college, and this kid was such an entrepreneur. He ended up starting a gaming casino
Yeah.
out of his apartment and ended up making so much money. And his dad was a judge and found out about it
Oh.
and got pissed off at him, and he's like, why don't you get a real job? So he meets somebody that used to be a good customer of his, comes in one night with a guy from a, we'll call it a boiler room, but
Mhm.
it was a firm called JT Marlin,
Yeah.
trying to sound like JP Morgan. And basically, it was a boiler room. Okay. They were selling phony stock, and they were, basically running up the market and selling shares that didn't really exist and things like that. I mean, it's a crazy
Yeah.
movie. He befriends Vin Diesel in the process. There's a scene in the movie, funny enough, where they're actually all sitting around watching the movie Wall Street,
Wow.
and quoting the scenes from the movie. Ben Affleck is in it. It's a really, really good movie. So,
Well,
um,
yeah.
it,
I need to check
if you
it
guys
out.
get a chance, check that out. That is a fabulous movie. It's one of my faves. I own that. I watch that like every so often
Oh
when I
man,
just get in the zone to get in that mindset. But
my
I
mindset.
would love to actually be in the position to do some of the things that I saw them doing. And it's so weird because I got an understanding just basically watching those types of movies and
Mhm.
then listening to, at one point I was watching some of those stock shows that would come on. The guy that stands there with the tie on, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pretty famous, but
Uh-huh.
I would watch him, and just kind of watch a lot of those shows, and I kind of got a vague understanding. So I decided about a year ago to get myself a Robinhood account and
Mm.
just play around with a couple $100. You know what I mean?
Just play around with it. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. There
We.
were some days when it was red, some days when it was green, but one thing I didn't do was watch it every day. I just put the money in, went back a week later, oh, okay, I made 20 bucks. Went back, oh, okay, it went back down. You know what I mean? I
Exactly.
lost that same 20. Oh, okay, now I made 40. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? So I see how to do that. You have to kind of, if you're in it, get in it, but don't watch it like that to where you get so emotional about it.
Emotional about it. Exactly. That's the thing with, especially with long-term stocks. You know what I mean? It's if you do invest in the company and you do believe in it, you know what I mean, and if your goal is for long-term investing, you're not going to be watching that every single day. Your mindset will be, hey, I'm going to invest this amount of money on this stock and let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? It might
Right.
make money tomorrow, it might not make money tomorrow, but because of your conviction on the company, that's what a lot of investors did. Like companies like Facebook, Amazon, Tesla. You know what I mean? So with investing, you're looking to companies that do have that long-term potential growth. I mean that that it's gonna your investment is going to compound over time. That's compounding investing. That's what it's called. So at the end of the day, you're going to invest in a company because you did do your research on that company, and you have conviction that it's going to grow over time. So that's basically with long-term stocks. Now with options trading, you can adopt this mindset in the way that when you do obviously trade that specific option, for whether it's a weekly option, um, a yearly option, a monthly option, the amount of money you make that day, you gotta be happy with the amount of money you make that day. You gotta be you because at the end of the day,
Gotta be disciplined.
you gotta be disciplined, yeah, and content with what you make because the thing is that disciplinary attitude is going what's going to carry you during your journey. You know what I mean? If you want to make this a lifestyle, if you want to make this um if you want to make this a daily job for you, it's not a job but basically a lifestyle that can provide you that financial freedom. You will have to be comfortable with um, just being content with the amount of money you make that day, and also um, being comfortable with not, just losing money as well. You're going to be losing some money, sometimes, and that's okay. You know what? How are you going to go back up and the next day, you know what I mean? And just, you can make that money again. Just be comfortable with that, so you got to be comfortable with losing, you know
Right.
money, right? But then at the end of the day, you can actually control the what people don't know is that you can set a thing called a stop loss on your
I
um
heard that mentioned in Wall Street.
yeah, a stop loss.
He said a stop loss at $100,000. He gave him $1 million check and
Yeah,
set a stop loss at 100,000. And I'm taking that to mean whatever you do, you can lose money, but don't go below 100K.
100,000 exactly, sis. Wow, you already know. But yeah, exactly.
A
So
lot of it is like common sense. You know
it's
what I
common
mean?
sense.
It's like if you hear what they're saying, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. You know what I mean?
exactly. So if you're losing more than 100, like if you go in on the option trade and you have $1,500, right? You set a stop loss and you're like, I'm only willing to lose $150. You can set your stop loss at $150, and we're going to show you the different programs that you can use. You can use any other Robinhood, Webull, TD Ameritrade. We're going to cover that during this call presentation here that Sister JJ's providing beautiful. Sister JJ, make sure y'all and subscribe and like her channel right now. But
Shout
that's
out to Uncle Vern. Uncle Vern. Yeah, it's getting knowledge. Shout out to Dexterius Crockett. I see you, my
shout out to
brother.
Dex. How you
Dex
doing,
says
Dex?
I have Tesla. Okay, Tesla, Amazon, AT&T,
Yeah,
some foreign I remember him saying that. Some foreign stuff. Wow.
yeah,
Dex
for
is also somebody who's into it.
Oh yeah, that shout out to you, to Dex, man. Always the brother is so you can see such an educated brother, and he obviously dabbles in a lot of these investments. That's great because you want to make sure you diversify your portfolio, also your retirement portfolio as well. So that's beautiful. Diversification is always encouraged, especially when you do invest in stocks. So Dex says, "What about stash?" Yeah, stash is a great one. I do have a stash account as well. Stash is more used for if you want to invest in stocks and buy stocks and everything, or buy even fractional shares of companies like Tesla, Amazon. All these companies are a bit more expensive, but you can buy fractional shares, meaning that you can buy a fraction of these shares, and it's not that expensive to do that. You know what I mean? So definitely, Stash is a great one, and they do give you a debit card as well, so you can always direct deposit your paycheck in there, and you can use some of the money that you get paid, and you can obviously invest that in stocks. And they do have an IRA investment account that you can open with them, which obviously is an individual retirement account that you can use obviously to invest whatever you make from the stocks. You can also add it to your IRA as well. So it's great. It's great. But basically, yeah, back to what I was saying, sis. Yeah, setting the stop loss is very important because if you did set a stop loss at $450, you meaning that you're not going to be losing more than $150 on that trade, regardless of whether it goes up or down. You're willing to lose $150. I think that's great. You know what I mean? Because you're setting a limit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's great to set a limit, because what a lot of us do, and I did get into that trap of, well, I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna wait until it goes up and down, whichever option trade I did purchase that day, and I end up losing what, all my money, or most of my money. You know what I mean? So definitely, you want to make sure you set the stop loss, because guess what? You can go into another play and make that money back, or that same day or another day, depending on how much cash you have to play around with. Now, I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to show you guys what I do use. Um,
Let me go ahead and
yeah.
get that off of there.
Let me put it down. All right. Let me see there. Why is okay, let me do it again. Why is my Weibo account not stop sharing? Let me share my entire screen. Wow. All right. I think yeah. Can if you can share against this.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Entire
Okay, I'm
screen.
clicking it. Hold on. Let's get it in here. There we go.
Okay. I don't know why it's not allowing me. Okay. Can try again.
You said what now?
Can you try again?
Wait, you need me to
Um,
take that off?
yeah, take it off and take it back and see. Because I don't know why it's on. Okay. That's weird. It's on. Why is it not showing though? Hmm.
You want me to
Hmm.
remove it completely from the stream and then you come back in with it, or
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, because I wanted to share. Okay. Let's see. All right.
all right? Let's try it again.
Yeah. All right. There. I think it works out. It's perfect. Good. All right. So, are you able to see my Weibo screen, sis?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Perfect. So, yeah, so this is my Webull. So this is an application. So there are different programs that you get you can use this and everybody else can use. There's Webull, there's Robinhood, there's TD Ameritrade.
Maybe
Um
maximize your screen. What do you think with that?
yeah, I did maximize my screen and it's not let me try again. Let me try again and see if I'm able to do it. Hmm, that's weird. Um Let me go to my settings and see if I'm able to share my screen. Let me see settings, um, privacy, see displays, privacy. Or I'll just show my Robin Hood here for now. It's just weird that it's not working. That's illegal. That's login. All right. Let's see here. Can you still hear me,
I
sis?
can.
Okay,
All
all right,
right, let's
perfect.
see. Let me put
All
that
right.
on there.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show my Robinhood for now, because I don't know why I'm not able to share my Weeble. So I'm just gonna do my Robinhood for now. All right. Let me go back here. Let me share. Let me share my Robinhood. Let's see here. Home Robinhood. Allow. Perfect. Great. Is it better now?
Yeah, let's try. Let me put it back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Perfect. So this is my what Robinhood account right now. So let me. So for example, if I wanted to go on the Tesla option right now, so this is how much Tesla is valued right now. Actually, let's try Apple. Tesla options are a bit more expensive. So right now, Apple is valued at $161.08. Right. So if I wanted to buy an Apple stock, right, an option right now, I want to trade Apple options. Right now, these are if I so these are the options that I can do. So if I wanted to buy, if you remember, since you want to buy a call or a put, so a call if you're bullish on the stock, and a put if you're bearish on the stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that it start to go down. So right now, let's say I wanted to buy a call. Right now, it's currently at 161, and I see the stock. If you look at the price history, the trend right now it looks pretty bullish, right? It looks pretty bullish right now. Barring that any news coming out right now that will affect the stock, I am bullish on the stock. So let's say if I wanted to buy it, I feel like Apple will go at 162.5 this week,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I can buy an option. So for that, and as we previously explained, the price for this option right now is going to be at is $1.09. So if you want to times it by 100, as we know, so it's $1.09 not the actual price of the stock. You want to times it by 100 because you guess what, you're going to buy 100 shares, one for one contract. So that's going to be $108 that it's currently cost right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here. All right. And I want to buy 100 stocks. So I'm going to continue. All right. So it's telling me if I want to buy one contract, $109, and I click order. So as you guys can see, it's hella nice and cheap. Hella nice and cheap. You don't have to spend a lot of money to buy 100 contracts of Apple. You can buy it at $109 if you're bullish on the stock. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically that's how you do it, sis. Yeah. So buy one contract, and right now I'm not able to buy anything right now because I need to my account is restricted right now because they need to verify some information. But as you guys can see, I have $337.22 buying power available, so I can use that money for to buy my contracts and everything. So pretty much, yeah, that's it. And you can if now if you're bearish on this stock, if you feel like it's gonna go down, there are different options that you can go here. So if you're bearish on the stock, if you feel like it's gonna go down to say 160. You want to make sure that you're in the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're not too far away from in the money, from the money, from where it's at. Because if you're out of the money, it's a bit more risky.
Yeah.
So it's so it will be safer for me to get a 160 contract right now
Mm-hmm.
because it's not way off. So it's gonna be more expensive. But guess what? You're gonna make money. You know what I mean? You're gonna make money, and you can decide to buy multiple contracts because guess what? The more contracts you buy, the more money you make.
Right.
Yeah, but the riskier it gets.
Absolutely.
So you may lose your whole investment, but you know what? If you make more money downwards, it's gonna be good for you. You know what I mean? So the more contracts you purchase, the more money you make. But you can stick with one contract and you can make your money there. You can make more money downwards too. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, so pretty much that's how it is. Now there are cheaper contracts you can go into, but the cheaper the less likely you make more. So as you can see here, there are contracts for $65 that you can get. So this is not way too off the money. It's like 167.5, so 64 cents.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy it for $64. So if this is 64 cents, so if you want to buy like two contracts of that, that's great because you're gonna make more money. So that's gonna be $120. You want to buy four contracts, five contracts, $320. So you can buy multiple contracts. So that's 500 shares. It's 500 shares. So you can buy a cheap contract of a cheap put for Apple for $320.
That's pretty
Or
cool.
$40. It's really cheap. Now that's if you're bearish on the stock.
Right.
Now if you're on the call, the right now they are a bit more expensive. Not more expensive, but they're a bit more for the call. But for example, this is further away from the money. So if you feel like Apple is going to go to 167.5, what is the likelihood of it going to 167.5? It's a bit unlikely,
Mm-hmm.
but there is possibility. So that will be cheaper. It's going to be 16 cents. So that would be like $79 for the contract, which is really cheap. But what's the likelihood of it going? This is way off the money. So you may make some money, but your return isn't going to be that much. But these contracts are in the money. So the closer you're in the money, the more money you're going to be making. So you're going to hear a lot of these terms when you start your trading career, your trading career
Mm-hmm.
as a day in the money and out of the money. In the money is basically pretty much you're within range of you're pretty much in your within your the strike price of making the money there. So if there's a strike price of 165, that and the stock is trending towards 160 and you bought it at 162,
Mm-hmm.
160 and towards 165, you're in the money. You're in the money. But then if you purchase it complete at like 150, if you feel like the price will go up to 170, you're out of the money. You're out of the money. So
Gotcha.
basically you're gonna hear. Um so so pretty much, yeah, this is pretty much like a brief overview of stock options trading. As we can see, you can pretty much purchase your options at a pretty good price. You can start right now with stocks like Apple and a very affordable price too. So as you guys can see here, the stocks has been during the day. We started at 159.81, and the stock went up at a high of like 160, like 161.14. So you would have made like you would have made pretty much a good percentage of your money, you know.
Right.
So remember, the more money you put, the more money you can make. More money makes more money. You know what I mean? So the more money you spend on the call option or put option, the more money you make on that option.
Right. And it's smart to, when you're first starting, obviously you want to get involved with some of the cheaper stocks because, if you don't have a
Mm.
lot of money, like right now I don't, but you know what I'm saying? That's how you build. Um,
That's how you
that's
build.
how you
Yeah.
build. You get in
And
on the cheaper stuff, and you don't go spend your rent money on an option on an option,
uh,
and you don't know what you're doing. You better have some
exactly.
damn good history on that company and watch the trends and know how trends work and know that company's history. You also want to make sure you know a little bit of background on them. Are they financially stable? How
Financially.
long have they been? That's one of the things that Warren Buffett prides himself on is he invests in stocks that aren't going anywhere.
Exactly.
Bounty paper towels, they're not going out of business. Dawn dishwashing liquid, things you use every day. You know,
Exactly.
that's the stuff you want
Exactly.
to go after that's been there forever, that has probably no intention of going anywhere. Coca-Cola, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The thing with options trading, and you're definitely right, sis. With options trading, you can make a lot of money on whichever stock. It doesn't really matter.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's stocks that you can make crazy amounts of money, but on every stock you can make a lot of money. It's all about options trading. Is all about price movement.
Hmm.
All right. It's all about the movement of the stock. If there's a big movement of the stock or just a small percentage of the stock, you're making a sizable return on your investment.
Hmm.
All right. You can invest as easy as $30 on the stock, on the option trade, and you can buy multiple contracts of that, and you can make an easy $100 on that trade. And you can do the same thing with the Tesla, even though the Tesla will be more expensive.
Hmm.
The Tesla will be or put will be more expensive with the premium, but you can still come out with $100 to $200 to $300, and it can be the same thing for an for an Apple option, which is cheaper. So it's all about price movement at the end of the day.
Right.
So everyone has an opportunity to make a sizable or a great income on every um, especially if the stock is reputable. If it's a stock like Apple, which is reputable,
Hmm.
you make money, or Tesla or Nvidia, those big stock, like those stocks there, like those the big name stocks, man, you can make money. It doesn't, like, you will make money,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
Big
It's like you gotta
regardless.
you
Yeah,
gotta crawl before you can walk. There, you gotta build the money to be able to get in there with the smaller
exactly.
stocks. And once you start getting a feel for it with the smaller stocks and building your
Yeah,
portfolio and getting that cash flow coming in, then you can be able to take that knowledge and play with the bigger stocks because you have the
play
money
with
to
it.
be able to buy in.
Exactly. Now with the Tesla stock, for example, sis, look at here. Look at here. With Tesla stocks now, obviously it's more expensive. As you can see, Tesla is currently valued at $1,126. There was a 4% gain today. So if you were on the play, man, you would have made boatloads of money, man. 4%, that's crazy. So let's say you're bullish on the Tesla stock right now. If you're bullish on the Tesla stock right now, man, and you're gonna
Everybody, if you
be
like what you're hearing, please smash that like button. Please share if you care on all forms of social media. You know,
yeah, exactly. Please share, man. So right now, the Tesla stock right now is on 1,125. So just you going on the call for 1,200. If you feel like it's gonna go up to 1,200 and everything, you're spending $825 on one contract. So as you can see, sis, it's more expensive
hmm
at 1 year. But guess what? You're gonna be making money on that, that contract. You're gonna be making some money on that. Now, if you're closer to the money, this is way out the money. So you'll make some money, but not like crazy.
hmm
Uh, but so it's always advisable to go in the money, to closer to the money. So
Dex
it's
is
one
saying
thousand.
Cash App also.
Yeah, Cash App too. Yeah, Cash App, you can trade stocks, but you cannot do options trades yet with Cash App. So you can just buy stocks right now. But yeah, Cash App, you can definitely buy stocks. Yeah, that's a great one, Dex. So look at this one here, for example, with uh, Tesla stuff right now, as you guys can see, um, when it's closer to the money, it's more expensive. All right, when it's closer to the amount that it's currently valued at, it's more expensive. So you can see it's $33. So
Hmm.
for one contract, that's $3,360 right now. So it's more expensive when it's within the money, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely want to make sure, before you do go play with the big dogs, you want to make
You better
sure.
get some training first on the little puppies.
Yeah, the other puppies, exactly,
And the
exactly. Not
puppies
just
that are right. That's what I was going. Puppies is
the
gonna make you
puppies.
some money over the long haul, not just
Yeah,
mutts.
exactly. But since you can make money, you can make money on those on out of the money stocks right now, like on the delta, so you can still make money on out of the money right now, especially if the fact that it's going up. If there's a price movement going up, you can make money.
Hmm.
But if it goes the opposite way, you're going to be losing money as well. So the more money you put, there's a risk that comes with it, you know what I
Obviously,
mean?
yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So definitely you want to make sure you be careful. Say like, but one day, for example, on one of my earlier plays, I did I did get an out of the money option, and I ended up making $300 from that for that day, because that day the price movement, like I said, was going crazy. Tesla went up by like $100 that day, so I made great money. And
Wow.
if I did, I would have made like thousands of dollars on that stuff. So I will show you some of the plays that I did make before. Um, I will show you some of the plays that I did make before. So let me show you what I did there. Let's see here. So, so let me show you. Let me see. Let me see here. That's a portfolio, messages, Tesla. Let's see, portfolio. Let's see, Tesla. All right. So here is basically the history of my options trade with Tesla. So on on August, that was October 29th. I bought a Tesla option, one contract at a strike price of 1,000. Um, at a price of that was how much I paid, $1,270.
Okay.
The $12.70, and that was a strike of $1,175 call for the 5th of November. So it was a weekly option. And I sold it that day. I figured, and I made it, and I sold it that same day. All right. And look at the time. All of this happened on October 29th. Right. October 29th. And I sold it that day, and I sold it at $15.90, and that's a total $1,590. So if you guys do the math, right? So that happened at I went in at 6:44 a.m. and I sold it at 6:57 a.m. All right. So like I said, sis, and
So in
whoever is
13
listening,
minutes, you made
30 minutes, I made $300.
wow.
And let's do the math real quick. Let's do the math real quick. So I just want to do uh I just want to do let me see here. Let me see here. So 1,590 minus 1270. So that's $320 in 13 minutes. $320 in 13 minutes, man. That's how much you can make in 13 minutes. So and I was way out of the money. I was way out of the money. I was way out of the money, but I still made $320 because of the price movement at the end of the day. So that's how much you can make. Or you can make more if you hold. Yeah. So that is it. That is it. And let me give people another. Let me give another one that I did a few months ago again. You know, I have had my losses as well. So I've had my losses as well. Let me see here. Yeah, let me see here. So there was one that I did for 1,480. I bought, and I ended up selling it, and I ended up losing my money at $2.44. So I lost money as well, because of just being greedy. You know what I mean? So definitely, you guys want to make sure you have to set up a stop loss on whatever you do. You know?
Always
So
good advice.
always good. Yep, exactly, exactly. So I'm just trying to see some winning plays I had before for uses just to show. Yeah. So for this one, for example, on July 1st, I went in there at 6:54 a.m. So I was there for a bit, and I bought this an option. So for the 685 put, meaning that I am betting that the stock will go down to 685. I bought it for one $17.25, and that was for $1,725. And I ended up cashing out Tesla. Yeah, the put was at a strike price of 690, and I bought it at 685. So the put was for July 2nd, put for 690. So I ended up making, on top of that, I made making pretty much around like two
Like
hundred
a yeah,
dollars
I was about to say like 200 bucks.
Exactly, $200. So yeah, this is pretty much what it is, man. Like, but now, on later this week, sis, we're going to cover pretty much how you can identify ways to make money, how to buy on the low and how to buy on the high. We can look at your charts and see exactly, check your technical analysis and see like ways that indicators that the stock is going to go up or is going to go down. But it's very simple. I rely on news, and I do rely also on just my resistance level of resistance on the stock and everything, the support points and all that. So I'm not too crazy technical with my stuff. I just rely on my news and just rely on a few key indicators, and that's about it. You know what I mean? So it's not that complicated.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to commit to my education. I don't have really any money to invest other than what I have in Robinhood, which I'm checking now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's at $140. It says I'm investing
Yeah.
$140. I could literally sell the stocks that I have, get that 140 back, and go ahead with you and with a couple of recommendations that I can do something with that kind of money. Um, with that low amount. See what
Yeah.
you think I should try out. You know what I mean? And get and try that. You know what I mean? I want to commit
100%.
to try to learn, and we're going to be talking about this, all not only all this week, but keeping you guys posted on all kinds of financial things and trying to keep everybody abreast of how to be financially free and to retire early. So I want to see if I can make a couple dollars. It may not be much, but at least on this show, people will see me in my learning process of how to invest. And I'm taking this $140 in Robinhood that I've already gotten. I want to, learn with it. Um,
Yeah.
and see what happens. I'm sure you guys are going to see me lose a little money, but I'm sure you're also probably going to see me make some money as well.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And sis, I commend you for that because what people don't understand is that you have to take the step
Yeah.
to make money in the market. You have to take. You cannot be. You have to be unconventional.
Yeah, I'm not even
You-
doing anything with that 140, but just letting it sit there and go up and down and up and down. So if I know actively what I'm doing now, I am willing to lose. That's my stop loss right now. Is $140 that's sitting in there that I'm willing to invest in my education and see and play with it until I can, try to get a feel for what's going on.
Exactly, exactly. It's very
Hopefully I'll
it's
make some
very
so I can
important.
continue this. But that's
Yeah,
all part
no.
of the game. So
Yeah. No, like honestly, like I'm glad, I'm so excited for the journey because working with you and doing this with you, man, it's really going to get you to the point where it's going to be automatic and everything, and you're going to be making a great income out of it. I know people that do make, you can make an easy $100 to $200 a day. That's
see, and
possible.
that's
But
fine for me right now. That's
that's
fine
fine.
for me right
Exactly.
now. That
Exactly.
200 bucks a week right now is something that would help my family greatly.
Help your
So
family.
you know what I mean. I'm
Exactly.
willing to try to put what I can in. I'm not looking to get rich overnight, although that is the ultimate goal by
Yeah.
learning this is to take financial control.
Financial control, exactly. The thing is, for me too. I don't want to be. I don't need to be rich. If it comes, it comes.
Yeah,
But
rich is rich
my,
in other ways. You know what I mean? I'm
it's,
I'm already
yeah,
rich. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Inside.
exactly,
So I just
exactly,
want the wallet
exactly.
to match a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Want
Exactly.
the
That's
wallet to
right.
catch up to my chi.
Exactly. Catch what you cheer, exactly. But being rich for me is exactly, I'm already rich because being rich for me is just being having that peace of
Yeah,
mind, knowing that I can wake up in the morning and not have to answer to
yeah.
anyone, knowing that I can make my own income and go out today, get some juice, walk around, and not have to answer to anybody, knowing that I made my own income today, and paying, making sure that my necessities are
Talk
covered.
to him, brother.
Like my rent, my food, and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't need to make millions of dollars. If those millions of dollars come through, great. But being rich is having the freedom to do what you want. I know people that are making more than 300K a year, or CEOs and everything, but they have to work so hard. They rarely have any time to spend with their families or even any time to take care of themselves.
right.
What's the point to make all that money working for somebody, not even able to use that money and enjoy it at the end of the
And
day?
I think some
Yeah,
people may have rose-colored glasses on when it comes to the market who first get into it, like, oh, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to, sell my house and put it all in the stock market. And if you don't know what you're doing, that's a very dangerous, thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Get in it a little
exactly.
bit at a time. Don't get in it thinking, oh, this is where I'm going to make all my. No, yeah, that's not going to happen right off the top. Get into it a little bit at a time, learn your way. What you got to crawl before you walk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta crawl before you want, exactly, and you gotta start like that, and
These guys have been Dex and DZ. They've been watching these stocks for months, years. You know what I mean? So they already know what
exactly.
they're putting their money in.
Putting the money in, exactly. You want to come in there with an open mind, but also at the same time too, because
Stay woke.
I always, to stay woke, exactly. A lot of people are saying, well, isn't trading stocks like gambling? I'm like, well, you can treat it like gambling if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. If you
You
don't
know
know
what
the
I
history
mean?
of a company, if you haven't been watching the trends, if you don't know that that's a company that's not going anywhere anytime soon,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, you're gambling yeah, it's a brand new company out and they just invented a new way to do this. Great, I'm going to invest in that company. And you know, people
Exactly.
get a honeymoon version of that, or they see a movie and think, oh, I'm going to invest in that brand new.
Yep.
Nah, that's not what you do. You know what I mean?
That's all. Yep.
That's for
Exactly.
millionaires that can afford to buy companies like that
To buy companies. Yep. Exactly.
and
So
take the risk.
and take the risk. Yep. So going in, you want to make sure that because when I first started, I was gambling. You know what I mean? I was
Mm-hmm.
making those 600 to 700 $700 and everything, but then I will be going in being greedy. Like I would say I want to make more money and everything. I end up losing my capital. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's those experiences you learn from it. I always say my homie always says it as well. You're paying those losses that you go through. It's like you're paying tuition
Yeah.
for learning.
Yeah.
The tuition for learning. You know what I mean? So take every loss as paying tuition. Because paying tuition towards your financial freedom. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Every think you're like it's a way to it's a learning opportunity to get better and everything. No option trader or just trader, day trader in general is going to be has green days all the time. You're always going to go through losses and you have to get used to that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have day to day doesn't mean that you're not going to have red day to day. But on the opposite too, of the spectrum, just because you have a red day today doesn't mean that you're not gonna have a green day tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's part of it. You know what I mean? But you want to show consistency of you making money. You want to show that consistency. You know what I mean? Your profit and loss margin has to be if there's it's green and you have some red days, that's great. You know what I mean? You're not always gonna be, but you want to show the consistency of making that income. So if you're happy with making that $50 to $100 a day, stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you may make more money, you may make more than that on some days, but the consistency has to be there. Your goal should be to make an income, not to make a large amount of income every day. Because with option trading, you are going to make money. You are going to make these great incomes of $500. But the thing is, just like we always talk about your emotions, are you going to be able to manage your emotions to the point where you're happy to cash out at $500 and be like, I made $500 just being in front of my computer and not having to answer to anyone?
Mm-hmm.
I always go back to that. It's like I made that in a few minutes. I didn't need to do anything. Then just looking at my chart and being like, okay, I bought it at a low and then I sold it at a high. You know what I mean? I always think of that. I didn't need to do anything else in doing that. So just having the luxury of doing that and you're making those amount of dollars in an amount of a few minutes, I think that's a great feeling to have. And I always go back to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So um, that is the best thing I would tell anyone that wants to start on this journey to do that. Be comfortable with what you make because this is an income that you're gonna make. Guess what? If your rent is only $500 a
You just
day,
made your
that
rent.
means month. Yeah, exactly. You just made your rent. You know what I mean? You don't need if your car payment is $400 a month, you just made your car payment. You know what I mean? So as long as my necessities are covered, I'm happy. And then whatever money I make is it's extra. It's a bonus for me, and I can do that. I can use this to go on road trips. I can do this to buy food. I can do this to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I think that's just the best thing that I can tell anyone that wants to start. Use you don't have to work for companies, man. You don't have to work for the man. You don't have to work for corporations. Corporate America is not for anyone. I don't think it's for humans
No, it
really.
is not.
It's not meant for us to be there. You know, it's not meant for us to be
It's
there.
basically a modern day plantation, is what it is.
It is a modern day plantation. I know a lot of people don't like using that term or whatever, but it is a modern day plantation, man. Let's just say it like it is. You know what I mean? The you know, this guy is out there watching us, and he's telling us exactly what to do. Big Uncle Sam is telling us what you do, taking the taxes or whatever. You have the opportunity to make money, all right, to make your own income, man, and you have the opportunity to live your life. The thing is, are you going to start right now? You know what I mean? And the best way to do this will be to start with an income. Now, I'm not forcing anybody to do options trading. You know what I mean? It's just for you. It's for you. If it's not for you, but there are other ways to make an income too. We live in the technology age right now. There's Uber, there's Lyft, there's all those things that you can do to make an income out of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You can really make income and actually make a daily income, and you don't have to wait for anybody else to tell you what to do. This You have the power to change that. You know,
I'm
so
tired of the story that Jen and I had with the DoorDash thing. It
mhm,
sickens me that DoorDash came in and is now, what do they worth now? Maybe $1 billion or so, million, it's several
yeah,
million,
bro.
obviously. But that
Yeah,
was the business that we were doing for 10 years when there was hardly anybody in it. There was maybe 70 or 100,000 small businesses doing that exact same thing that DoorDash and Uber Eats are doing today, making big, big, big money, doing the commercials. But all of us, that is an industry that everybody is, oh wow, this is awesome. I can order my groceries. But we had a business doing that for 10 years for people. So the idea was already out there. And it just took a
was
mainstream company like a DoorDash, like a Uber to get into it and take it mainstream. We always knew, and this is why I think I'll have an understanding of how to do this, because we foresaw it. We already knew that this was something that was trending. It was out years before we got into it and it never hit, but we got in and we made a decent amount of money. Like what you're talking about now is what we did. We ate every day with it. It
exactly.
took care of us. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
and we ended
And
up having 6 or 7 drivers that were working for us. So it took care of a couple of
wow,
people. You know what I mean? I
because
had drivers at one point that I was paying $1,000 a week in income.
wow, amazing.
So it's, it is, and that's on the low end. There were companies that had 10 drivers, 20 drivers, 30 drivers. Well, look at DoorDash now. We were making a substantial living off of that, but look at DoorDash. Anybody can pick up an app, get a phone, pick up an app, get yourself a hot bag, and go out there and make money with DoorDash. And had we had probably the backing, we could have been DoorDash, or any one of those companies that were like us could have been DoorDash. So you got to have the foresight. You got to have the foresight. You got to know things may be down now, but they can go up. And if
Yeah,
you have the money to invest in it, get into it, learn it. Okay,
learning.
learn it.
Yep.
Talk to DZ. You know what I mean? Brothers who know what they're doing. There's another brother, Wealth Engineering, Dexterious Crockett. Talk to these brothers who know what they're doing and get in
Learning.
contact with them so that you can learn.
Exactly. And since you're so right, I mean, you've had that experience, and that's why I always learn from you because going through DoorDash and doing the business that you did with before DoorDash came out. The only difference with DoorDash is that you have guys with money that were able to do
That's
that.
it.
You
They
know,
went and they got investors. They talked to a
they got
bunch of
invested.
investors. Some college kids
Exactly.
talked to a bunch of investors and got them
Yeah.
to buy into the idea. And who knows, they probably used my service or one of these other services across the country and thought, wow, man, we can take this to a whole nother level if we can get people to
Yeah.
invest in it. That's what they did. And I'm not hating on them for the hustle.
Exactly. I mean, but we learn from these experiences, and that helps us. It helps us.
I
Yeah, it
want
helps
my
build.
revenge, ZZ.
Let's get that
Trying to
revenge,
keep it
man.
PC. I want to make some
No,
money so eventually I
that's
can be that DoorDash with
you'll be
another
that.
idea.
Exactly. You will be that. You know what I mean? That's why you can make a really sizable income with day trading. You know what I mean? For anybody out there that says that you cannot day trade, is unrealistic, or you cannot make 2% every day, shut the fuck up. You can do that shit. All right. I'm tired of hearing that myth, man. Say no, you cannot make 2% every day on what you make. You can make money 2%. You can make that. You know what I mean? You can do that. You know what I mean? So for anybody that tries to discourage you from pursuing such a career, I've had a lot of people that says, "Nah, you cannot do that. No, you cannot do that." The same people that tell you, "Nah, you cannot do that," are the same people that are still in the same place working for Uncle Sam.
Right.
You know what I
80
mean?
percenter,
There's no
baby. 80 percenter.
80%er, exactly. There is no difference between the person that makes 300K and the person that makes 50K. The first person that makes 50K may have savings, he may have a great income and all that, and a peace of mind. And he is his own boss. Guy that makes 300K may be in debt with a bunch of companies and may be working for Uncle Sam and answering to what Uncle Sam is telling him to do. You know
Speaking
what I
of
mean?
which, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that is a phenomenal book.
Oh yeah, by Robert Kiyosaki,
Yes,
right?
that is a phenomenal book. I think I'll do a review of that book this week since this is the week that we're talking about this.
We should definitely do that. And I wanted to even cover like answer what Uncle Vern said. There's nothing wrong with
I
making
saw
money.
that. Shout out to Uncle Vern.
Yeah. I shout out to you, Uncle Vern. You're so right about that. There is nothing wrong with making money. At the end of the day, you can use your money. You like a lot of people demonize you for wanting to make money, man. I mean, we've been through a similar experiences. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
do.
Don't demonize people for making money. There's nothing wrong. The people that you demonize for making money, it means that you don't have that mindset of making money as well. Everyone wants to make money. You're lying to yourself if you find anything wrong with making
Guess what?
money.
If you don't
You
make
know what I
money,
mean?
that's how hospitals are built. That's how schools are built.
Exactly.
That's how
That's how stupid.
things
Yeah.
that are necessary are developed. It takes money to do
Exactly.
that.
It takes money to do that. Exactly. So if you want people, if you're going to be employing people and all that, telling people to do what to do and all that, you have to expect them to get some sort of compensation. You know what I mean? And they better get compensated nicely. You know, that's just the way the world has been from the beginning of time. All right. And I hope y'all are watching this so that y'all can be empowered to make money as well. You know what I mean? Because um, people have miscategorized people that want to make money as greedy.
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong with making money because guess what? With the money that we get, the income that we get from whatever hustles that we do, we're able to use that money and obviously take care of our priorities. Now there's a difference between getting money from drugs or whatever. We're not telling you to do that, you know what I mean, but there's nothing wrong with asking for money for something that you're doing, for the hard work that you're putting into something.
Sales is
All
the
right, so
oldest
there's nothing
profession
wrong
that
with
there
that.
is.
Exactly. It's the oldest profession. Yeah, it's the oldest profession that there is. Exactly. So um,
The richest man
there's
in
not.
Babylon, baby. The richest man in Babylon. That's another one.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that's another one. Yep. So for anybody that wants to demonize others for gaining money, you need to look at yourself and be like, what is my purpose? You need there are so many ways you can make money. So there's nothing wrong with saying I want to make money. There's nothing wrong with saying I want to be out there and gain an income that can take care of me, my family, and the people around me. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with doing that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with doing that. But people are demonized for getting their own businesses. People are demonized for expecting to get paid for the services. You know what I mean?
Yep. And
And that's just the way it is. If Sister JJ today wants to get paid for her services, that she does and everything, I'm going to respect that because guess what? This is money that she can use to take care of herself. Her time equals money. All right. My time equals money. All right. Everybody's time equals money. Now, if you want to do something for free and that's the expectation, then you know you put that on yourself. right? You put down yourself, but the expectation is that you're going to get something out of it. You need to expect people. You're going to be expected to get paid. So there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's
So
that's
I
why
think
we're doing the stream to teach people to stand on their own 2 feet and get money and get money from sources that that are viable. You know what I mean?
that
That can afford to
yep,
do that. So DZ, this has been amazing, brother. This has been
thank
absolutely
you so much.
amazing. Thank you so much for coming on here and talking about this today. And I look forward to you coming on tomorrow and
Yeah,
sharing more information with us.
for sure. No problem, sis. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, man. I appreciate you calling, with the Dollar D, man. Maybe I should start a YouTube channel with Dollar D.
Hey, there you go. There's an idea right there. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you. Yeah. No, thank you, honestly, sis. I love this because I learned a lot from this as well. And
You need an intro. You know where to come.
I know where to come, man. I know where to come, man. I'll shoot you a quick 50 for that. You know what I mean? So no, shout out to you, Sister JJ. And as always, thank you very much. Love you very much, and
Love you
thank
too,
you for
brother.
really, yeah, bring me in and sharing the knowledge, man. Because that's all it's all about, sharing the knowledge. What's the wrong? What's the point of keeping all that knowledge and not sharing it? You know what I mean? Because other people can really be making, um, doing looking into the this options trading, and my hope is for people to look in this options trading, and learn from it, and definitely make money from this and make an income that they do deserve, because everybody deserves to live a life with a peace of mind. And one of the ways you can live a life with a peace of mind is making your own income out here.
Facts.
That take care of your own things, that plays a role in that. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. So the fact that you were able to have this conversation today, certainly appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to the future streams. Obviously, I'm sure this week talking about this and all that. But thank you so much.
Not a problem, DZ. And speaking of which, I'm excited about tonight because tonight we got this happening.
Let's go.
Woo! Brother versus brother, baby.
It's gonna be a hot matchup,
The
man.
Hornets
It's-
versus the Bulls. I am so excited about that. And last week, shout out to Flight Sports TV. I was on Flight Sports panel, and last week they did a like a little bit of a lottery. It wasn't a lottery, but it was a they were just doing a giveaway. It wasn't a giveaway,
yeah.
so it wasn't gambling. What they did was they had people guess who like what Lonzo's numbers were going to be for that night. And you know how we
Mhm.
always did that on live streams. I've heard DJ do it in other channels. And so what do you think Lonzo's going to do tonight? And they were giving away $60 to
Mhm.
whoever nailed it. And fortunately for them, nobody nailed it. But so they didn't have to give away nothing. But if you guys are anybody listening, tune in tonight to Flight Sports because I believe they're going to do the same type of giveaway, but get there early. They're going to do the same type of giveaway. I don't know what they're going to do, but hey, you can talk about making money. For really just sitting there, you know what I mean? And I came close. Damn Lonzo, man. I had 17, 7, and 7, and he finished with like 13, 7, and like 4. So I was like right freaking there, man.
Always there, yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
very
so I'm excited
cool.
about that. So,
No, it should. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great one, and it's gonna be the matchup of ages, man. I always look forward to those two brothers, obviously going against each other. Obviously, with Lonzo being with the Bulls now, and Lamelo with the Hornets. Lonzo's in a new team, and they're both in the same conference, the same Eastern Conference. So it's gonna be a great
and
matchup,
both of
man.
them are
Lonzo,
killing it. What LaMelo
they're
has been
killing it.
absolutely leading that team.
Yeah, exactly. They're killing it this season. I mean, this both of them. So I'm super proud of both of these boys. So it's gonna be a great matchup, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too. So, with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
being said, guys, don't forget again, please share on all forms of social media. and hit that like button on the way out the door. I appreciate everybody so much. Shout out to everybody that participated today. Shout out to you, DZ, for all the knowledge that you shared. I look forward to having you on tomorrow. Shout out to Dexterous Crockett, Uncle Vern, my baby Vegan Knowledge, Markrina Daniel for checking in with me and letting me know she's going to be listening to the replay. And anybody who's not in the chat, if you're listening, shout out to you. Thank you. Please smash that like button or dislike button. Either way, it moves the algorithm. And I appreciate everybody out there. I love you guys. DZ, anything, any final parting words now? Okay, cool. We out, guys.
You've been listening to the Midday Meltdown Party Over Here with J&J Video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're feeling the vibe, and please share if you care on all forms of social media. You can support the content on this channel by donating to the Cash App link that's been provided in the description of this video. Thanks again for listening. Peace and blessings.